What's up everyone, it's Shay here and I'm back with a brand new video, and in this video I decided to do my top 5 lists for animes that I've seen for 2017. And as a disclaimer, this is purely my opinion of the shows that I've watched in 2017, so I do apologize if your favorite show is not on this list. And also, yes, some of these shows actually did not come out in 2017. Some of them came out probably before, but I watched them during 2017, which is why I put them on this list. So let's get started with going through these lists of shows that I have. So number 1, I actually had to choose Scums Wish. Now, I watched Scums Wish on the podcast that I'm a part of, which is called It's in Season, and we decided to pick this show because it seemed pretty interesting. So Scums Wish is about a girl by the name of Hanabi, and she actually becomes involved in a relationship with a young boy by the name of Mugi. And the reason why they become involved in a relationship with each other is because they're actually in love with 2 other individuals that they know they cannot have. For Hanabi, she's in love with her neighbor, whose name is Narumi Kanai, and Mugi is in love with a tutor of his, an old tutor of his by the name of Akane. And basically you see their relationship kind of progress throughout the entire series, and it's just filled with so much drama. The reason why I loved this series is because I was able to relate to it on a more of an adult level, and the situations that they were in was something that anyone could relate to, not just as someone who's in high school, but just even as an adult. So definitely check this show out if you haven't already. I do know that Amazon Prime was Amazon's like anime channel was the one that had this show. So if you have Amazon Prime, you do have to pay like $10 extra a month to be able to have access to their anime streaming service. But the show was definitely great. You definitely have to check it out. And the ending of this show was just like a surprise. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. The number 2 show that I have on this list is Orange. Now, I read both the manga and watched the anime of this series, and wow is all I can say. The show is about a girl by the name of Naho and her friends who end up receiving letters from their 26-year-old selves, so 10 years into the future. And in these letters, it talks about a boy that they meet by the name of Keikaru, who becomes a new student at their school. And in the letters, it talks about a series of events that happens during their year in school concerning Keikaru and how they basically are wanting them to basically correct their mistakes of what they did. Now, at first, Naho and her group of friends think that these letters are completely false until they realize that the stuff in the letter is starting to come true, and they see the stuff in the letter start to change as they start to follow what's going on and change the decisions that their future selves end up making. The reason of this being is because they find out that their friend Keikaru actually does not survive during their that year in school when they're 16 years old, and they want to keep him alive. So basically you see their thought process as they go throughout this entire year in trying to keep their friend alive. And you also see kind of the sacrifices that Naho and her friends go through when it comes to their feelings, and also with them dealing with the fact of such a serious matter of suicide. And you also see their friend Keikaru go through the grieving process of him thinking that a certain situation that happened in his family was his fault. So you see that entirely take place. I watched this show on Funimation's streaming service. I believe it is still there, so definitely still check it out, and also read the manga as well. I will purely say the manga and the anime were both very, very well done. So number 3 on my list is Food Wars. Food Wars is about a boy by the name of Soma Yukihira, who basically cooks alongside his dad. His dad ends up going away on business and decides to send Soma to Totsuki Culinary Academy to basically strengthen his culinary skills. And along there, they have something called a shokugeki, which is like a food wars tournament. And you see Soma end up meeting all these kids that are like, in a way I kind of want to say from like richer families and things like that, but you see them compete in these shokugekis and you start to see Soma's culinary skills get a lot better, and you also see him show these kids up in so many different ways. One thing I want to say is this show will make you very, very hungry because it does deal with food. And yes, the show can be on the edgy side, so be forewarned if you decide to watch this show with your parents. This show also has a third season. I haven't yet seen the third season. I've seen the first and second season. I haven't watched the third season yet, but I'm super excited to watch the third season very, very soon. Number 4 on my list is actually the show Kiss Him Not Me. So Kiss Him Not Me is about a girl by the name of Kai Surinuma, who actually is obsessed with basically anime shows and very obsessed with like boy on boy kind of shows, or yaoi. And during watching a show of hers, one of her favorite characters ends up dying, which causes her to go into a deep depression, which causes her to lose weight. So she was kind of like a heavier girl, wasn't very liked by, you know, the male counterparts of her school, but once she loses the weight, she becomes very, very pretty and gets the attention of 5 boys at her school who end up vying for her affection. It was very funny to see her deal with all the attention from these 5 boys. But one of the things that I liked about this show was that there's a part in the show where she does put the weight back on, and you start to see some of the boys' true feelings come out about how they feel about her. So you start to see some of them that are like they want her to lose the weight again because they feel she's not attractive. And you start to see some of the boys still truly like her for who she is, even though she does not look the same. And I think that kind of shows the whole thing about beauty being just skin deep, and that personality and the way you are with people can actually purely change the way that someone sees you. So even if you're not the most attractive person, but sometimes your personality is what makes you the most attractive person in the room. And that was one of the things that I was able to touch on and enjoy so much about this series. So the 5th and final series that I have on this list is actually not even a series at all. It's actually a movie that came out, and it's called Your Name. And Your Name is about a boy and a girl. The girl's name is Mitsuha Miyamizu, and she actually lives in like a farm kind of a town, a rural area, like a small town. And you also have a boy by the name of Taki Tachibana, who actually lives in the city in Tokyo. And they start to realize that they actually are switching bodies. Now originally they think that these are just dreams until they realize that they're actually switching bodies, and they have to learn when they do switch how to live each other's lives. Now the show takes a turn, or the movie actually takes a turn, because of the fact you start to see them fall in love with each other. But the problem is they don't really know each other, and they don't know each other's name. They know each other's names, but there's just a lot that goes on. It also starts to become a bit of a turn of events when a certain event happens, and Taki Tachibana has to go and try and change the events, so that basically just has to turn the events around. It's so hard for me not to explain what the entire movie is about without giving it away, but definitely check it out. It was actually one of the highest rated anime movies for the year that it came out. I believe it came out in like early 2017, late 2016, I believe. But I fell in love with this movie when I first saw it, and it actually almost made me cry. If the movie would have continued longer than it did, I probably would have been crying my eyes out in the movie theater. But it's such a good movie. It's one of the movies that actually dominated in the box office and did very, very well. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. So that is my top 5 anime series or movies that I've watched for 2017, the ones that I've really enjoyed. Feel free to comment down below what shows you've watched that you really liked in 2017. And I know I apologize if your favorite once again wasn't on this list. I know a lot of people are probably going to say, why isn't My Hero Academia on there? And I understand I didn't put it on this list. I haven't actually finished watching, I think, season 2, but I've seen season 1 of My Hero Academia. It probably would have been on this list if I would have finished it, but I didn't put it on here. But thank you guys for everything. Once again, this video, thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll leave links down below to all my social media accounts as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye.